Hello and welcome. My name is Dahalov, and today I'll be showing you my second place Ogdoadic Lair of Darkness build. This is a really flexible going first or second build that is really good at breaking up boards and controlling the game until you manage to grind through for victory. So, first we run 1 Diabolos. This guy lets you rip cards out of your opponent's hand while also acting as great rank 8 material. We play 2 Arima. This lets us search our Lair of Darkness, or it lets us tribute things to draw and search. He can tribute and search Diabolos, who can then spec himself if searched this way, which is really nice. Lair of Darkness makes all monsters in the field dark, which is why we play the 3 Super Poly, and of course lets us tribute from our opponent's field, which will be more apparent and valuable in a sec. The Super Poly was really amazing. I went into Trivia Veritum a lot, and it also lets you do some pretty interesting stuff with the Alistair fusions. We play 2 Eradicator Epidemic Virus and 1 Full Force Virus. I think Erad is really good, but I wanted to play a bit of variety just in case you went up against a deck that doesn't actually get that damaged by either, and I thought this was a good spread. For the Ogdoadics, we play 1 Eren, 1 Alert, 1 Curse, 1 Zoha, 3 Naya, and 2 Nunu. The reason for this is Naya being at 3 is the most important. This is my favorite way to get to the rank 8 Ogdoadic Naya combo, and while Nunu can do it, I prefer the way Naya does it. Eren was also really good in this event. He was a nice special summonable beater and gave me lots of options for if these two got hit, it let me use him to tribute the opponent's field, even if I could no longer use these two or had access to them. He also comes with the passive hand rip, which was really nice to protect Alert, as that's usually the worst part of the normal Ogdoadic play, is you just give your opponent a free card back, which can be a really big deal. Zoha, of course, is here to fix your hand and get your 8s out of your hand, or even put Diabolos into the graveyard, so that you have an extra card in hand when you summon Diabolos. We play 3 Snake Rain, 1 Water Lily. This is searchable and not a starter card. This is something you use as part of your combo, so you don't need to have it in your opening, so there's no reason to have more than 1. Same can be said for Serpent Strike. These are basically different sides of the same coin. Depending on your graveyard and your field and the stage of the duel, they will do about the same thing, but one will be more advantageous than the other in certain situations. We play 3 Alistair and 2 Meltdown with the 1 Invocation. I find this is a good normal summon spread. As you can see, this is one of the only normal summons in the deck. Arima kind of is, but is mostly here as a field spell searcher, so you really want to have that Alistair. I also opted for 1 Invocation because I find that I don't want to have this in my hand, I want it searched off the Alistair. We have 3 Infinite Impermanence, 3 Ash Blossom, 1 Called by the Grave, 1 Terraforming. Since we have a couple field spells, we have our Lair and we have our Meltdown, I wanted a way to pick at the one I wanted, depending on the situation. It's also really good Ash bait. And then the 1 Reasoning. I'm not super sure about this card. I mostly put it in because it's fun, but it's a good way to maybe fish out free material or block that Ashes. We have a lot of important searches. We have these 2, which are really important. We don't want these to get hit. And same can be said for our Snake Rain and our Blossom. So having ways to absorb the opponent's focus is a really nice thing. It's kind of a subtle strength. For the extra deck, we run 1 Trivia Veritum, a 3 Dark Super Poly target. This lets you suck up a whole opponent's board or use a bit of yours and theirs. 1 Mekaba, the best invoked monster for that Omni Negate. 1 Starving Venom for a smaller version of the Trivia Veritum if you only have 2 monsters to use. 1 Ogdoadius as a follow-up play to the Mekaba. 1 Mud Dragon of the Swamp as a more flexible Super Poly target. This can even be summoned without Lair, of course. And with Lair, it makes it even more versatile, as now all monsters are dark, so you can pick up any 2 things. For the Xyz monsters, we have 1 Draglubion, 1 Hope Harbinger, and the 1 Numeron Dragon. That way you can turn 1, go for the Harbinger for a defensive spell negate, or going second, go for lethal with the Numeron Dragon. We play 1 Teardrop the Rika Queen and 1 Rika Queen Strenna as that nice Rika engine I've talked about before. 1 Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand, 1 King of the Feral Imps, and for the links, we have Apollosa, Reptilian Echidna, and Artemis. Artemis is there, of course, for the normal summon Alistair into Artemis. That way you can make Mekaba with Invocation if you don't have access to other lights. For the side deck, we are running 3 Gameciel, 3 Denko Sekka, 3 Dark Ruler No More, 3 Twin Twisters, and 3 Solemn Judgment. There is an argument that these Twisters should be Cosmic Cyclone, as this deck already loses its hand quite a lot, and top decking a Twisters isn't always ideal when you have no cards in hand, of course. So I think Cyclone has a fair shot here. But overall, this deck was really fun. In the event, I got 2nd place, and I went 3-1. My first match was against Kashtira, and I lost 0-2, so I was sitting for the whole round doing nothing. Then I went up against Dino, and I 2-0'd them. Dino is a really fun, interesting deck, and if you've been watching this channel for a while, you will know that I've mixed it with Ogdoadic Ogdoadic for a decent amount of success. My third match was against ninjas, and that was a really fun grind game. I got to use a lot of my Ogdoadic tribute monsters to really take advantage of that layer and really keep the opponent's board under control. And lastly was up against Branded, which was a solid win, as I've had a lot of practice from Masterduel playing against Branded. But that is the list. It's really fun, it's really effective, and it was really flexible. When I was in my matches, I didn't side almost at all. I put in some judgments going first in games 2 or 3 after a loss or something, but generally having the super poly, having the layer, having these monsters being able to tribute with the layer is really good going first or second. Thank you everybody for watching, and that's all for me. I'll see you next time.